You kissed your baby goodnight. You fed them on schedule. You sang the little song they love. And you are certain, genuinely certain, that you're doing everything right. But what if one of the things you did before lunch today sent a message to your baby's developing brain that felt like abandonment? Not because you're careless, not because you don't love them, but because nobody ever told you what your baby's nervous system is actually listening for. Stay with me, because by the time we get to number 4, most parents go completely silent. Welcome to Baby Secrets. If you care about your baby's emotional world, not just their milestones, not just their sleep schedule, but the actual inner life forming behind those eyes, subscribe right now. This is exactly what this channel is about. Here's what science has confirmed in the last 2 decades of infant research. Babies are not blank slates waiting to be filled. From the moment of birth, they arrive with a fully functioning emotional system. They feel comfort and distress, connection and loneliness, safety and threat, with an intensity that their tiny bodies can barely contain. The problem is that most of what hurts them isn't obvious. It's not neglect, it's not cruelty. It's the small, daily, well-intentioned habits that quietly shape how safe they feel in the world. Let's get into it. Number 1, you go silent. When you're stressed, picture this. It's a hard morning. You're exhausted, overwhelmed, running on 2 hours of sleep, and you're going through the motions, feeding your baby, changing them, carrying them, but your face is flat. No expression, no words. Just silence and distance because you have nothing left to give. You're not doing anything wrong on paper. The physical needs are met. But here's what's happening neurologically inside your baby in those moments. Babies as young as 2 months old are hardwired to read their caregiver's face for information about the world. It's called social referencing, and it is not optional behavior. It is survival behavior. Your face is your baby's emotional weather forecast. When it goes blank, when it goes still and unresponsive, your baby's nervous system doesn't think mom is tired. It registers something closer to emergency. Developmental researchers call this the still face effect. In studies, when mothers were asked to go expressionless for just 2 minutes, babies first tried to re-engage, smiling harder, reaching out, vocalizing. When that failed, they withdrew, turned away, and showed measurable physiological signs of distress. 2 minutes. Imagine what a whole morning communicates. You don't need to perform happiness you don't feel, but you do need to stay present. A soft word, a slow blink, a gentle acknowledgement that says I'm here even when I'm struggling. That's all it takes to keep your baby's nervous system out of alarm mode. Stay with me, because the next one is something almost every parent does in the first year without even realizing it has a name. Number 2, you interrupt their concentration. Here's the scene. Your baby is on their play mat, utterly absorbed. They're staring at a toy, mouthing it, turning it over in their hands with the focus of a scientist examining something extraordinary. And you, because you love them, because you want to connect, lean in and say their name, shake something colorful in front of them, or scoop them up because it's simply too cute to leave alone. It feels like engagement. It feels like good parenting. But what you just did has a name in developmental psychology. It's called an intrusion behavior, and it consistently shows up in research as a stressor for infants. Here's why it matters. That absorbed, focused state your baby enters during independent play is one of the most important neurological events of their day. It's during those moments of self-directed exploration that the prefrontal cortex begins building its earliest architecture: attention regulation, curiosity, frustration tolerance, the ability to persist at something hard. Every time that state is interrupted by an adult, the baby's brain has to abandon the process and reorient. Over time, babies who are frequently interrupted during focused play develop shorter attention spans and higher dependency on external stimulation. What actually works is learning to observe without intervening. Sit near them. Watch with genuine interest. Let their concentration complete its own natural arc. When they look up and find you there, present, warm, not demanding, that moment of shared attention is far more connecting than any interruption. Number 3, you use your phone. During feeding, you're nursing or giving a bottle, and your phone is in your hand. You're scrolling, reading, half watching something. Your baby is fed, warm, held. What's the harm? Here's the harm. Feeding time is not just nutritional for a baby, it is neurological. It is one of the primary windows through which early attachment is built. The combination of eye contact, facial expression, voice, and touch during feeding triggers a cascade of oxytocin in both parent and baby that literally wires the attachment bond into the developing brain. When your eyes are on a screen, that cascade is interrupted. Your face goes neutral. Your voice disappears. The responsive, attuned presence your baby's brain is expecting and depending on simply isn't there. And infants notice. Research in early attachment consistently shows that babies whose feeding interactions involve low parental responsiveness show differences in stress regulation and social development as early as 6 months. You don't need to maintain intense eye contact for every second of every feed, but putting the phone down, letting your gaze find theirs, letting yourself be genuinely present for even the majority of that time, that is one of the highest return investments you can make in your baby's emotional development. It costs nothing. It builds everything. The next one surprises almost every parent because it looks exactly like love. Number 4, you react to every cry. Immediately with panic. Your baby cries. Your heart lurches, your body floods with cortisol, and you rush in, voice high and urgent, face tight with worry. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? You're not a bad parent. You are a parent whose nervous system is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. But here's what nobody tells you. Your baby is not just communicating distress when they cry. They are also reading your response to learn what distress means. When your reaction to their crying is panic, elevated voice, tense body, urgent, anxious energy, your baby's brain receives a secondary message on top of their original discomfort. It says, "This is very serious. The world is alarming. Even the person who is supposed to be safe is scared." Infant neurologists describe this as emotional co-regulation, and it works in both directions. A calm caregiver genuinely regulates a baby's nervous system downward. An anxious caregiver amplifies it. Babies of highly anxious responders take longer to self-soothe, show elevated cortisol baselines, and are more likely to develop anxiety-related traits in toddlerhood. Try this instead. Take one slow breath before you go in. Soften your face intentionally. Let your voice drop low and slow. Not artificially cheerful, but genuinely steady. I'm here. I've got you. You're safe. That sequence, delivered in a calm body, is one of the most powerful neurological gifts you can give your baby. You are teaching their nervous system what safety feels like from the inside. Number 5, you force eye contact or interaction. Your baby turns their head away. They break eye contact, arch slightly back, look at the ceiling, and you follow their gaze, turn their face gently back toward you. Bring your face closer, trying to reconnect, because you love them and you want them to look at you. What you're missing is that looking away is your baby's only volume control. Developmental psychologists call it gaze aversion, and it is a self-regulation tool, the only sophisticated one a young infant has. When a baby looks away, they are not rejecting you. They are saying, "I need a moment. This is a lot. I'll be back." When we override that signal, when we follow their gaze and pull them back before they're ready, we are teaching them that their attempts to regulate themselves don't work, that the world doesn't respond to their cues, that they have no control over their own experience. That lesson, repeated enough times, is the early architecture of helplessness. Watch for the look away. Honor it with a brief pause. You will notice within seconds that your baby returns to you on their own terms, and that return is infinitely more connecting than the forced engagement ever was. We're halfway through, and the next one is something that happens in almost every household, every single day, starting from the first week home. Number 6, you're inconsistent in your response to their cues. On Monday, you respond to their fussing within a minute. On Tuesday, you're on a call and it's 15 minutes before you get there. On Wednesday, you respond immediately, but you're distracted and not really present. On Thursday, you're rested and warm and fully there. From your perspective, this is just life. From inside your baby's developing nervous system, this is something far more consequential. Babies build their understanding of the world, their foundational sense of whether life is predictable and safe, entirely through the pattern of your responses. Developmental psychologists call this contingent responsiveness, and the research is remarkably clear. It is not the speed of your response alone that builds secure attachment. It is the consistency of it. Babies whose caregivers respond consistently, not perfectly, but predictably, develop what attachment theorists call a secure base. They cry less overall, explore more boldly, and show significantly better emotional regulation in toddlerhood. Babies whose caregiving is unpredictable, where the same signal produces wildly different outcomes, develop anxious or avoidant attachment patterns that can follow them for years. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be recognizable. The same warm, present version of yourself showing up reliably. That is the single most powerful thing you can do for your baby's emotional foundation. Number 7, you talk at them instead of with them. You narrate your day to your baby. You describe what you're doing, what they're wearing, what's for dinner. This is wonderful. Language exposure is genuinely critical, but there's a difference between talking at a baby and talking with one, and most parents never learn to make the distinction. Talking with a baby means pausing. It means saying something, then waiting, genuinely waiting, with an open, expectant face for their response. A coo, a kick, a widened eye, a turned head. These are conversational turns. Babies as young as 6 weeks old are capable of proto-conversation, and they are trying to have it with you every day. When we talk at them continuously without space for their response, we inadvertently communicate that their contribution doesn't count. Research on serve and return interaction, the back and forth between caregiver and infant, shows that this responsive conversational exchange is one of the primary drivers of language development, social cognition, and emotional intelligence, not the volume of words spoken at the baby. The exchange of them, slow down, speak, then wait with a soft, interested face. Let them answer you in the only language they have right now. Respond to that. You are not just teaching them words, you are teaching them that their voice matters. Number 8, you skip the wind down transition. It's nap time or bedtime, and you go from activity to sleep in one abrupt move. You put them down, maybe they're still stimulated, maybe you've just come from something busy and bright and loud, and you expect them to simply switch off. And then you're frustrated when they won't settle, when they cry, when sleep feels like a battle every single time. Here's what's happening in your baby's brain. Cortisol, the stress hormone, does not clear instantly. After stimulating activity, a baby's nervous system needs a transition period to downregulate before sleep is neurologically possible. When we skip that transition, we're asking a physiologically aroused brain to do something it literally cannot do yet. The wind down routine is not a nicety. It is a neurological bridge. Dim the lights, lower your voice, slow your movements. A short, calm sequence of the same actions in the same order Every time creates what neuroscientists call a predictive pattern. The brain recognizes the sequence and begins preparing for sleep before the baby even touches the mattress. 15 minutes of intentional transition will do more for your baby's sleep than any sleep training method on the market. And the calm it creates belongs to both of you. Don't go anywhere. What's coming next is the one that pediatric therapists say comes up in almost every single early parenting consultation. Number 9, you dismiss small fears as silly. The vacuum cleaner comes on, and your baby startles and screams. A stranger leans in close, and your baby melts down. A loud noise sends them into full panic, and you smile, maybe laugh a little, maybe say, "Oh, you're so dramatic, it's nothing." Your baby does not understand the word nothing. They understand your face and your body and the emotional frequency you're transmitting in that moment. When your response to their fear is amusement or dismissal, your baby's brain registers something deeply specific. I showed the person I trust the most that I was scared, and they did not come. Not consciously, their brain doesn't have language for it yet, but the body keeps score, and a pattern of dismissed fear is one of the most reliable predictors of anxiety disorders in early childhood. Your baby needs you to be a calm, steady, present wall they can press against when the world feels overwhelming. Not to validate every fear as a genuine threat, but to validate the experience of feeling afraid. There is a difference. You were startled. That was loud. I've got you. That sequence, acknowledging without amplifying, teaches your baby that fear is survivable, that the world is manageable, that you are safe. Number 10, you underestimate how much they need your undivided presence. Your baby is technically with you all day. You're in the same room, doing the same tasks, managing the same household. But how much of that time are you actually there? Unhurried, unscreened, genuinely present with no agenda except them. Babies are not fooled by physical proximity. Their nervous systems are tuned to attunement, the quality of connection, not just its quantity. Research consistently distinguishes between time spent near a baby and time spent genuinely present with one, and the developmental outcomes are measurably different. 15 minutes a day of what developmental psychologists call floor time, where you get down to your baby's level, follow their lead completely, offer no direction and no agenda, just warm, responsive presence, produces measurable improvements in secure attachment, language development, and emotional regulation. It sounds almost too simple. 15 intentional minutes. No phone, no task list, no half attention, just you and your baby, fully meeting each other. Your baby has one window of time in which their brain is building its foundational understanding of what relationships feel like, what safety feels like, what they feel like to another person. That window is open right now. And the most important thing in the entire world filling it is not the right toy or the right schedule or the right sleep method. It's you, just you. Present, consistent, and willing to be known by someone who is just beginning to learn what it means to know someone at all. That's 10 things. And here's the truth that ties all of them together. Your baby is not asking for perfection. They're asking for presence, for consistency, for a face that comes back, for a voice that stays steady, for a world that responds to them like they matter, because they do, completely and entirely, in a way that nothing else in your life will ever quite replicate. Every single thing on this list is fixable. Starting today, starting with the very next moment you walk back into that room. If this changed how you see your baby's emotional world, share it with a parent who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Baby Secrets for content built on real developmental science. And leave a comment telling us which one of these hit closest to home. We read every single one,